Hello guys and welcome back to Haymanager with me, Alex, today. And today we've got another tactical transfers. I'm going to try and bring out something a little bit special, maybe a little bit of a player overview or one to watch type of thing. But today's video is all about Tottenham's transfers, and realistically how they have to rebuild their side to mainly try and cope with the fact that Harry Kane is probably going to leave in a few years. So I'll quickly run you through the starting 11. I think the players from the starting 11 that will continue to start playing in this side and who I think should be playing anyway in their strongest 11. So put it on the screen now for you. It's an interesting one. I think Lloris has had his day. He needs to leave. 34 years of age now. He had a decent Euros with France. He wasn't fantastic. He's not been brilliant for Tottenham for years. But you need to look forward. If you get so much money for Kane, you're looking at 100 million for Kane, what can you then distribute that money onto? And how can you sort of allow for that money to try and contribute towards building towards a future for your side? So Lloris is going. The two centre-backs, Alderweireld's old. Tanganga, I don't think is good enough for them. Sanchez isn't a great option. I think he's just a backup option. He's much like he reminds me a lot of like a very very strong centre back, like a Varane, or a very athletic centre back. I'm trying to think who else is very much like that. Schuler or someone like that. A very very tall, very strong, very like Ferdinand. Ferdinand when he was very young. Sort of that type of player. But just doesn't have that what's the word now? Nuance to them. They don't understand the type of position they've got to play in. Much like Eric Bailly, who isn't the smartest type of player but very physical, they just struggle. They struggle a lot. I'm trying to think who else is very athletic but isn't a fantastic centre-back. I can't remember any off the top of my head. But yeah, those type of players, they're not fantastic. So the two centre-backs is a place where they need to go. Doherty, I think he needs to start. He needs to start. He was fantastic for Wolves. Very, very solid right back for them. Aurier, a bit too... For me, he's just a bit too unreliable, but Doherty is a very reliable right back for me. Reguilon proved last season that he was absolutely outstanding. He's got like a Herrera type of passion. A lot of these attributes coming through like from the cultures of the sort of where they're from, like Spain. Reguilon to me just reminds me a lot of Herrera. Højbjerg, very, very, very good at holding that defensive sort of midfielder role. Then Ali, I think, well, in pre-season he's played, so Dele Alli could be making a comeback. His little picture on his little icon that I've made is of the glory days back in the day when he was absolutely firing for them. Nowadays he's gone for a bit of a moustache, a bit of a weird look. But for me, if he comes back and he starts producing like he used to, it'd be fantastic. And Ndombele next to him, and Ndombele, 60-odd million for Ndombele. He has to start the majority of games. He was fantastic for, I believe it was Lyon when he came from there, or the French league, wherever he came from. He was brilliant, and now it's time for him to really try and prove what he's worth. I've seen a few little snippets of what he can do. Very silky on the ball, great passer, great distributor, drops a bit deeper. He had a bit of discipline to him under Mourinho. Now it's time for him to really prove himself. Son, I can't really say much about Son. Apart from his diving, Son is an absolutely brilliant player. Really good player for Tottenham. Mora does his job. I think you can probably find someone a little bit better than him, but he does his job. He's been a bit of a Tottenham hero in the past after scoring that goal against Ajax. That got him to the semi-finals, or the final actually, of the Champions League. And then up front, the obvious man at the moment is Harry Kane. But that is up for debate whether or not he's going to stay or go. I think he'll stay this year, and then next year when they realise he's got 2 years left on his contract, or a year left on his contract, he will then just probably go for about 100 million. You're looking to try and get Tottenham back into Europe this year, and then they'll probably let him move on. That's what I think anyway. So the first player we're going to look at who replaces Lloris for me, and it's a controversial one. It's a very, very controversial one. It's Andre Onana from Ajax. Now, this man's been banned from playing football. And interesting, you're going to really, really, really lay into me for this one, I feel. But he has been investigated. He was given a 12-month ban. I think it was from January, February. And it's been reduced to 9 months. So he'll be back in October for Ajax to be playing football once again. He says it was a mistake. His wife gave him, or girlfriend gave him, a tablet to deal with some sort of sickness or illness or something along the lines, to which he took, had the drugs test, and it came back positive. So there's just something within that. Obviously didn't run it through the club, didn't talk to the physios or anything like that. Bit of a weird one. But either way, he's back. And I think, for me, he's a fantastic young talent and someone that can definitely take over from Lloris. He's a completely different type of player. He's much more of a bigger presence in the net. He comes out and claims a lot of the balls from corners and such, so on and so forth. I think for me, he's going to be an absolutely phenomenal player, a brilliant player. And if they bring him in, it allows Lloris to have one last year. They get to run down with Lloris's contract, and then Onana slowly comes through after January, say, when they can obviously bring him in, and then that allows him to try and he plays in the African Cup of Nations, and then that obviously, as I say, allows him to just continue on and playing for Tottenham towards the future. So I think this is a clever one. I think this is a really clever transfer. Onana, you're probably looking at him being available because he's on the last year of his contract, you need to remember as well. If you were to sign him now, I'd probably say 25-30 million, which sounds like a lot for the last year of your contract, but Ajax will probably try and tie him down because they do really like him. He's a phenomenal keeper. But he needs I think he needs a different challenge. I think he needs a different challenge. He's much better than Ajax. And that's why, as you can see the stats that I had on the screen, 15 goals against, 9 clean sheets in 20 games, 60 saves, 80% save percentage. Yeah, unbelievable talent. And definitely needs to be in this side. We then look at 2 centre-backs. We'll start off with the left-sided centre-back. And it's the man who's just won League 1. It's Sven Botman, the 21-year-old from Netherlands, has really proved how great a player he is. 37 matches played for them, so he's a consistent player. 48 tackles, 46 blocks, 193 clearances, near enough 70% aerial battles won. The guy is an absolute brilliant talent. Sven Botman is brilliant. I've watched a little bit of him at Lille. A few games here or there, because obviously I took an interest in Lille somehow winning or being on top of the League 1. So I watched a few games, and this guy, he's a very clever, really articulate, very strong centre-back. I've got to admit, he looks really good, and I'm jealous. I'm jealous in a way, but I'm happy we have our centre-backs. I think this guy is very much an Arsenal or a Tottenham or even a Liverpool probably should have gone for him, a Liverpool centre-back, where he's just very good at working as a 2. You have centre-backs who work as a 1, who are very solid in themselves, and then they just sort of do their own thing, but he works very good in a back 2, works fantastic in that partnership, likes to play off his left-hand sided player, which would be Reguilon if he does come, so obviously a lot of relationships to build there. But yeah, Sven Botman plays on the left-hand side. You're looking at probably around about 30-40 million for him. He has obviously increased in price, and they only bought him last year, I think, but 30-40 million, I think, for the Lille centre-back, because he'll probably push to leave as well to join the likes of Arsenal or Tottenham. I think it'll be interesting for Tottenham to bring in a young player like this. They're looking to rebuild, obviously, bring players in to surround like the young talent that they have in the core, allow these players to sort of build up and have the experience with Harry Kane, with these types of players, and then obviously surpass the ability that they're at now. I think Sven Botman would be a great one. And then to partner him, an interesting one from Fiorentina, it's Nikola Milenkovic. Nikola Milenkovic had a great year last year with Fiorentina. Fiorentina themselves haven't had a fantastic year, but 34 matches played, 64 tackles, 57 blocks, great amount of clearances, 153, and 77% of his aerial battles won. He's another great player. Right-hand side centre-back. He is probably going to be a perfect partner for Botman. Two players that are great at holding the ball at the back. Milenkovic probably a bit better physically, better in the air. But then you got Sven Botman, who's a bit more wiser, great at playing the balls out the back, 21 years of age. Milenkovic is, I think, 23, 24. So again, a young centre-back, but this will allow them to rebuild once again, get themselves back on the feet once Harry Kane leaves. And again, Milenkovic, you're looking at around about 40 million euros, so around 35 million. So altogether, you're looking at around about 30 million each for each of these players. Maximum, you're looking at maybe 40, so you're looking at 120 million to spend. These three players are literally what Harry Kane would buy. So it's whether or not Tottenham want to go out there and try and get these deals done now, looking forward into the future, making sure that they're looking after themselves for when Harry Kane leaves. They can bring someone through like Oliver Skip, or maybe have someone bring in another striker. Maybe a Duard from Celtic would be a fantastic one, or something along those lines. That'd be good. But yeah, Milenkovic, another one which would be fantastic. So he slots right into there. So the starting lineup, you're looking at building a new defence, because Kane up front's obviously fantastic. Son and Moura are very good players. Ali, if he comes back to that form, is great, but they've got Lo Celso on the bench, and Dombele and Højbjerg. Reguilon's great down the left-hand side, as we've seen last year. Doherty, we've seen from when he plays at Wolves, is absolutely surreal. So Botman, Milenkovic and Onana to come in, allow a young sort of sporadic type of player to come through, allow themselves to come into the side, prove themselves. If it works, he's going to be absolutely brilliant for them in the future, because you've got Reguilon who's young, Botman's, Milenkovic, Onana, Ali's still relatively young, and Dombele's only mid-20s, Moura's reaching 27, 28, Son's still 26, 27 I think, Kane's 27. You're looking at quite a young side, but one where you release Harry Kane, he'll leave, you've then got money to sort of subside and put into this defence that obviously needs work. So yeah, that's the video. That's the video today. That's Tottenham. Tell me down below what you think Daniel Levy will do with the transfers at his club. I think it's going to be an absolutely catastrophic season for him. But who knows? Who knows? He might actually be a bit more credible this year and actually do something good for the side. But yeah, an interesting one nonetheless. So I hope you did enjoy the video. If you did, as ever, leave a like. Thank you for 80 subscribers. We're going up slowly. I cannot believe it. For every video I'm putting out, I'm getting at least one subscriber, so I need to put out probably 1 million videos soon, but we'll see what happens, won't we? I'm enjoying putting out some daily content once again. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Enjoy the sun, and yeah, see you soon. Ciao.